Planet Changers kids, we are live to you today from ancient Babylon with a breaking news story about King Belshazzar, the son of Nebuchadnezzar. Tonight, King Belshazzar has thrown a massive party at his palace grounds. He's invited all the nobles, all his friends, and everybody who's anybody in town. As we learned a few weeks ago, Babylon had captured and taken all the treasures from the city of Jerusalem. Tonight, King Belshazzar has brought out the treasures of Jerusalem, bringing the cups and goblets that were at the temple to use at his parties. Also, the nobles and everyone at the party has started praising the gods of gold and silver and wood. Things that aren't even gods. And anyway, we get to the most exciting part of the story now. A hand has been seen not long ago writing mysterious words on the wall of the palace. We have a reporter there at the palace grounds now to bring you the latest updates. Over to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Selena. Here at King Belshazzar's party, guests are in chaos as they try to figure out what's just happened with this mysterious handwriting on the wall. We've managed to capture a video which we will now play for you. As you can see in this video, this is a highly unusual occurrence and no one is quite sure what's going on. The king has asked all his advisors and wise men if they are able to interpret these words, but so far none of them have been able to. He's also offered a grand reward for anyone who is able to tell him, so anyone who has any information, please come forward. Just coming in, the Queen says she knows someone who ought to be able to tell us the meaning of this. His name is Daniel and he used to work for King Nebuchadnezzar. Hopefully he'll be able to tell us what this means. We are coming to you live this morning from the studio after last night's crazy events. Daniel did come forward to tell King Belshazzar the meaning of the writing on the wall.
Daniel told King Belshazzar that his father King Nebuchadnezzar had been a man full of pride and had put himself up against God. God had punished King Nebuchadnezzar until he had repented and been humble enough to acknowledge that God was sovereign. Instead of learning from this lesson, King Belshazzar had also been full of pride and had even mocked God by using the goblets from the temple of Jerusalem and worshipping gods that could not even see or hear him. The writing on the wall meant that King Belshazzar's days were numbered and his kingdom would be ruled and split and ruled by other people.
Although what King Belshazzar did was similar to what King Nebuchadnezzar did, God punished him more severely, as he had already seen the lesson and knew that he ought to be humble and not put himself up against God. But he did it anyway and even chose to mock him, instead of learning to be humble like his father did.
That's right. And there's a very important lesson for us in this story as well. When we know that God requires us to be humble, it's important that we repent of our pride and choose to be humble before God. When we ask for God's forgiveness, He's very quick to forgive us, but when we don't, He's not pleased with us at all. This may look like acknowledging that your way of doing things is actually not the best way to do things and instead choosing to do things God's way. Because this broadcast was specially commissioned to you by your Planet Changers leaders, we have a few tasks for you. Make sure you read more of our story in Daniel chapter 5, which will give you more details of how this all went down. Also, we have a few questions for you to answer, so that we can know you learned something from the story. Until then, see you next time.